Well, we're here in France, and to be more precise, we're fishing Jonchury 7, and of course, the Jonchury complex. It's a 5-acre lake with a good stock of fish near, up to 60 pounds. And the better news is, we've got off to a bit of a flyer. There's a big old common sat in that sling down there. That's ready for some photos. So, we'll bet we start the video to have fish in it. So let's get these photos done. Beautiful. Well, couldn't have really asked for a better start here at Jonchury 7. It's a bit lively. Was been out for about half an hour. I've had 2 hookups already. He's not happy at all. Yeah, Rod's been out for about half an hour. Fishing to a bit of an overflow, and it looks like it could be a good session. But I'm going to get this one back because he is a little bit lively. Ooh. So as I was saying, there's a good stock of fish in it, up to about 60 pounds. It's not an extremely deep lake. It goes from about 1 foot to 4 foot, so it is pretty shallow. And we haven't had the best starts to our trip here. We turned up yesterday, it's currently Sunday, so we got here Saturday, and the lake was completely frozen solid. Well, the whole complex was completely frozen solid. So fishing wise, we lost down 24 hours, which isn't super ideal, and we didn't think it would do the fishing much good either, but the fish obviously still pretty active, so hopefully we do pick up some more throughout the trip. But it obviously has cooled the water down a little bit, so we're going to see how this week plays out. Hopefully, as I said, the fish will keep on coming, but not the greatest start we could have had. Well, fish number 3, 29.25, which is straight to overflow, really big drop off, and then it waddled its way in to in close. It gave me absolute hell. But fish number 3, it's looking like going to be a pretty good session. Bit of GS10, bit of banana in the mix as well, and yeah, it's doing the bites, so let's keep at it. Well, I'm just going to recast this one. It's the only one that hasn't actually done a bite today. I had 4 takes, 3 on the right hand rod, 1 on the left hand rod, and this one's, it is right in between them along the bank, but they are still about 30 yards apart from each other. But it is slightly differently presented. I have got a bit of fake sweet corn on this rod instead of the other 2 being B5 pink pop-ups. So I'm going to change this one to a pink as well and see if that makes a difference, because it might purely just be the presentation, or it might be the spot. I don't know yet. So I'm going to do some experimenting, and hopefully we'll have all 3 rods going. It has gone a bit quieter now. We haven't had a fish for about 3 hours, but that hasn't knocked my confidence. Well, we're just setting into the first night now. Well, second night here, but first night fishing. And I don't know whether it's looking too hopeful or not.
I'll just put it this way, it can't get any slower for me. I've had possibly 1 take, but no fish. I'm not sure it wasn't a trailing fish, to be honest, because I picked into a taking line and there was absolutely nothing there. So possibly trailing fish.
Yeah.
So other than that, nothing.
No, it's not so successful for you yet.
No.
But it is going to happen.
I wonder if we'll see Bigfoot tonight.
Did you hear about them last week?
Yeah. Apparently they saw Sasquatch and Bigfoot most nights, and they were adamant and quite scared about it. Not quite sure what they were smoking or drinking.
Listen, they were so scared they actually left early, 4 days early. So, yeah, that'd be interesting. But no, for me today it's been quite successful. My dad's moved a rod down on the dam wall. Well, I wouldn't say dam, it's only about 4 foot deep, but he's moved the rod down there because we think the main bulk of fish are on that bank.
Following the wind.
Yeah, but it hasn't really played off like that. It's gone pretty dead quiet since he's done that. But I'm sure they'll get back on the munch either tonight or tomorrow morning. But only time's going to tell, I suppose. And yeah, other than that, it's been a relatively successful day. Team day.
Yeah, it hasn't rained. and it stayed quite warm. So in January, you got to take those little bonuses when you can.
And when you're old, like my dad, that's all you really care about. But anyways, we're going to get into bed pretty soon. And yeah, hopefully it won't be too long before we do.
Beds.
Separate beds.
This is not like the fishing trip from Gavin and Stacey.
We're going to get into our separate beds, separate bivvies, and sleep separately tonight. And hopefully it won't be too long before we do catch one.
Time will tell. Good night.
Well, it has been absolutely evil today. It's been nigh on gale force winds, trees gone down absolutely everywhere, branches going through the lake. It is completely ruling today off. And by ruling today off, we haven't been able to fish effectively. We've been wiped out 24/7. Rod pod's gone flying multiple times in the winds. It's really picked up today quite badly. Picked up so bad we had to even move the van in fear of the trees coming down. So yeah, not been nice. Been pretty much hunkered down, hiding from the weather, but it's calmed down quite nicely now. And this week away on holiday is being chipped apart quite well at the minute. We lost Saturday and Saturday night due to a freeze, and we've lost today due to the winds, of course. But that's not knocked our confidence. It's thrown us down a little bit, but we're going to keep on plodding away. And hopefully we do get into some more fish and some bigger fish tonight or very soon. I am still hopeful. Fingers crossed, quite literally. We need it. we need some luck on our side at the minute. What happened to you?
I fell over. I had a run. And I fell over. Came running back. So I was just looking for koi poo. And I face planted.
Well, that went well.
Yeah, great. And I lost it.
Oh no. Well, good morning. It's Tuesday and we've had a relatively good start. I lost my office spot last night, well, just before dark. My dad had 2 up to 33 pound last night. And I've luckily had one this morning, absolutely ripped off, which is a bit unusual to the takes we've been having. But he's not big, but he's quite a nice scaly one. I could think of worse ways to start the morning. Quite a nice little fish. Not weighed him, probably be a scraper 20 I expect. Yeah, quite a nice scaly fish. Caught off that far margin, really tight. Bit of GS10, little pink B5 pop up. And he is lively. We could be doing better. I think we could be getting more bites than what we're having, but what we're doing is working. So hopefully the bites do keep on coming. Hopefully a bit more than what we've been having. But yeah, not a bad start to the day. Yeah, quite a nice little scaly one, that. The rest of the day passed extremely quietly, so a change of tactic was needed. I put some bait in and committed to fishing one spot only. Well, that's the last rod out, and I do feel quite confident. I've got a feeling my dad's going to pick at least something up down the other end of the lake. There are definitely fish down there, we've seen them now. So maybe with their strong winds up here, they did go onto the back of the wind. But I guess we'll find out tonight. But if something does come up here for a bit of a feed, I've got about 7 kilos of GS10 banana kraken. Oh, a minute, my rod tip's banging away. And I'm into a fish. Yeah, I am as well, I think. Yeah, Yeah. Oh, has it come off? It's come off, hasn't it? After losing that fish, we're both getting plenty of action on all of our rods, and therefore we knew it wasn't going to be long before we finally landed one. Our rods are all still out. Sat in the van. It's raining. It's cold. Camera's on charge. My battery pack's on charge. My computer's on charge. So we're sat in the van.
He lost the tournament on chess because he ain't very good. It's not been a very exciting day, really. It's very cold.
Well, it's been a long old wait to get onto a fish. At the minute, he's trying to pipe me actually right to the boards and overflow.
And they haven't been doing that. They've been normally coming in, so this might be a good sign.
Well, it's been a very slow Wednesday. Rainy, windy, you name it, we've had it. Neither of us have caught anything up to now, but this one is a lovely one and it's well worth waiting. Upper 30, not quite 40, but it's changed tactics, fishing to that far margin. I've pulled 10 feet off it, little combi rig, snowman style, over literally 2 handfuls of GS10, all halves. I don't think they're feeding heavily, and that one there is the result of our work. Lovely bit of starburst down the tail on that one. And overall, quite a cool looking fish. Yeah, highlight of the trip so far. Highlight. We started off with that 38 pound common. Now to catch this one feels like we're on a bit of a stepping stone now. The combi rigs are working, the methods are working, and more importantly, the baits are working. Right, let's get you back, and hopefully we'll get a few more like this. Look at that, eh? Look at that. Well, just released that fish and get the rods ready now for the night. Like I said, it's been a bit of a slow day. It's been horrible. Not done much filming. Camera's been on charge, to be honest with you all. Everything died on me last night and I wasn't really very prepared. So I'm quite happy I didn't have anything till this late because I wouldn't have had anywhere to film it. But nonetheless, we go again and get the rods back out. I'm going to keep this rod I'm winding in now where it was last night, quite tight to the bank because it is doing bites. Do I think it's going to do big fish? I'm not entirely sure, only because that spot hasn't done me a fish over 24, 25 pound yet, which, don't get it wrong, it's a good fish, but they're all very long, lean fish, you know, and other than that, it's been little 10, 11 pound commons. I think it's a bit too shallow there for, it's going to sound stupid, but for a real big one to feed on that. But you never know. So I'm going to keep putting the bait there for the time being and just see if there's a bit of a pattern coming along. That rod just caught that fish on then. He's going to stay where he is, about 10 foot off the bank. He's already out now. He's going to be left for the night, I expect. And the third rod, I reckon I'm going to put him about 10 foot off the overflow. I've been fishing it quite tight, but I don't think the bigger fish are tight to the bank. So I'm going to put this third rod about 10 feet off the overflow. I've had bites there tight to it, but I don't think they're tight anymore. So that's going to be the game plan for tonight. Will it work? I ain't too sure, to be honest with you. But am I confident? A little bit, a little bit. You know, you can't really be unconfident after catching a fish like that. It'd be nice to hit the 40 pound mark. We're so close, so close. But yeah, we're going to keep going. We've got 3 more nights to go. And yeah, plenty of time, plenty of time. I've just taken the last bait out. It's a new spot to me. I don't know about it just yet. I guess we're going to find out tonight whether it's on the money or not. There's been a lot of gas coming up from the silt, which I know to a lot of people may not mean too much, but I haven't seen that all week. So is it fish moving through the silt and disturbing it? I don't know. We did see a small carp top earlier, about 20 feet up the bank and a bit tighter to the bank from where I dropped it. But the actual fizzing I've seen has been about 8 foot off the bank. Again, is it fizzing, is it gas? I'm not entirely sure, but we've got 3 nights to go and I think it's worth a go, to be honest with you. I think it's worth a go. I say I'm about 6 foot off the bank down there in a corner I've not fished before. There's a nice outlet down there. It is silty, so I've put a heli setup on there, quite a long combi rig. So I know I'll be fishing. I've put a bit of foam on there, of course, just for a little bit of extra safety. But yeah, I guess it's now or never, really. We've 3 nights to go. And you never know, there could be 300 fish just sat right in that corner, ready for us. Somewhere we've not tried. So what's there to lose, eh? What's there to lose? It's a different feeling to tonight. Better feeling, I reckon. It's not so wild, it's calmed right down and we're actually seeing the odd fish top. Nothing huge, but we're seeing fish, which is a lot more than we can say for the last 4 days. I've pulled off that overflow, which part of me is regretting, part of me's not. My rig's about 5 to 7 foot off the bank down that right hand corner, as you know. So I've pulled off a spot that done me well a few days ago, but it hasn't done me a bite since then. So is it worth fishing it? I'm not too sure. But yeah, hopefully that rod does rip off tonight or very soon, because that might show us something. It will show us there is fish down in that corner and not to overlook the little corners we're not fishing. But yeah, hopes are quite high tonight. I do feel quite confident. So yeah, fingers crossed something happens. It'd be nice to get. It's not last minute yet, but we are getting towards the end of the session. So it'd be nice to get a big old mirror or big old common in the last few nights. Come on, Jonchury, come on.
The big common and big mirror may not have shown up this night, but it was our most successful night by a long way.
Another nice low 20. My dad's getting his sound out, so I don't really want to wake him up. But yeah. It's fish number 11, as far as I can count, yeah, number 11.
Good morning. It's Thursday morning. I've had a quiet 24 hours. Tristan had a bit of a run yesterday. Anyway, this morning, little drop back, produced this. Nothing to get excited about, but a fish is a fish. It feels freezing cold, and I'm getting back in the water.
And that wasn't the last small one we were going to see. The small ones really moved on to our bait and we were getting played by them. We didn't land them all, but when we did, it was quite obvious to see what was causing all the bites.
Bobbin's twitching and a little drop back. Well, just taking that rod back out. I was too busy filming the take. I missed it. Went really well, that. Really well. Fish number 13, I think. absolute unit. Not what we're here for, eh? Not what we're here for. Probably small to the trip, to be honest with you. It's absolutely freezing. I'm not doing a photo of a £5 common. Where are the big ones? Where are you?
Once the small ones moved away, the rain set in, and when the weather came in, the lake went completely dead.
Fish number 14. Yeah, nice little common. I say little, he's probably a low 20. Not weighed him, not photographed him. Dad's sleep and it is absolutely Baltic. Yeah, nice fish. Right, let's get you back.
Well, after my dad's low 30, the lake went completely quiet. We didn't catch anything, we didn't even see anything. The most slow day by a long shot.
Well, we're going into our last night now on Jonchury 7 and it has been a pretty quiet day. It's quite cold, but we have seen some fish top, so we're relatively hopeful for tonight, aren't we? Are you hopeful?
Yeah, I don't want too much activity because I've got to drive tomorrow. But, I reckon we'll get at least one or two more, right?
Yeah? It's looking alright, isn't it? It's looking alright.
To be fair, it's looking the best it's looked all week. It's been
It is.
horrible. Horrible. We've had wind, rain, ice. We haven't had snow, but there's been some forecast, but we didn't have it.
Frozen lakes.
Frozen lakes, that comes under the banner of ice.
Yeah, it does, right? Yeah, it does, yeah.
But I think that we've struggled to actually find the bulk of the fish. I think they are holding up down right there somewhere. But I've seen a few moving and rain more on my side, but I'm only picking up the odd ones, I think. Tristan's had 2 or 3 times more than me. Well, that's just purely and simply because I think that's where the fish are. But they're not in a heavy feeding mode. We've tried big beds of bait, sort of like over 7 or 8 kilos of bait. Picked up the odd fish off it, and then yet another spot over there. We put in about 4 or 5 kilos, and I'd already caught from that spot, and then nothing ever went back there after we put the bait in.
No, I think it goes back to what we were saying at the start of the week, how they're feeding so delicately, and so delicately by rig choice has been key. We're fishing over big beds of bait, as Dad said then, 1 or 2 fish possibly over a bed of bait, but other than that it's been 2 handfuls of boys at a time, and even then it's not been prolific, it's been pretty sparse. Hasn't it really?
To be honest, like I say, I just think that picking off the odd fish out of the group, I am getting lots of line bites, so they're not moving around. I'm fishing tight lines, and at some stages during the week I've been spreading them right out across the lake, sort of like a 150-yard range, dead tight line, and not picking up line bites. I was fishing 4 line bites to see if I could find where the group of fish were, but I do think they're down this end more so, and Tristan's not really getting much line bites. They're not moving around, and you've got to remind yourself it's still January. If we had caught in England what we'd caught this week in January, we'd be absolutely over the moon. I'm happy with what we've caught. We've had 20 odd fish. At least half a dozen of them have been over 30, and only 4 or 5 or half a dozen have been under 20. So I don't think you can really be upset about that or whatever. Do I think we could have done better? A couple of times I think I could have put more effort in, but I'm getting old now.
Yeah, so that again. But no, it's been a successful week on the scheme of things really. We've been up against it weather-wise. Fish obviously aren't feeding as heavily as they do in this lake during the warmer months, but as you said, it's still January. It has been cold, it's been windy, it's been icy, and we've been up against it. But we still got tonight, and you never know. That £60 common might switch on for a bit of a feed tonight.
You can't forget when we first turned up, there was ½ inch of ice over the whole lake.
And bearing in mind the lake's only 1 to 4 foot deep, yeah, that makes it even worse sometimes.
And there's been cold water coming in from over there all the time.
It's just been against us. Every day it's been against us pretty much. We've had 2 days of relatively good weather, but we're going to try and make this last night work, and then we'll be going by 9:30 tomorrow morning roughly, or 10 o'clock at push.
On the plus side, I've kept the same clothes on for the whole week, and they're nice and comfortable and warm.
You just know how it's gross.
How's it feel, Dad?
It feels heavy, but that doesn't mean nothing. They've got a fairly long range, so they tend to feel a bit ploddy at range.
Come on, the 40. Come on, Dad. You can do it. Come on.
It feels heavy.
It's good news. Good news.
Well, that's our session over here at Jonchury 7. As you can tell, it's absolutely Baltic today, about -3 to be precise. So packing up just then was not very pleasant, but what a better day to go than now. My dad had some absolutely awesome fish last night, and I even managed one as well. But the fish he did have last night they were pretty good. He had a big common, a 38 pound, absolutely pristine fish, and topped off by a fully scaled mirror at 24 pound. So he's over the moon, I'm over the moon. We've had 23 fish to be precise in total, I think. And to do that in the winter, considering the conditions we've been facing, I think that's pretty good going. So hopefully we'll be back out in France pretty soon, 3 or 4 months ideally, when it's a little bit warmer before spawning. And yeah, we'll be back at it again. But I'm hoping to be out in England very soon fishing, hopefully get another video done. So I'll see you all next time.